Hello, I'm Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for joining me and happy Sunday to you. I have on my Wolverines sweatshirt here. If I can get up and just show that to you, it's kind of backwards there, but I think you get the idea. Great game, Michigan State. As always, some of you are happy, some not. If you're not happy, think of the people in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is my alma mater. Did you know they went through a stretch here that they just scored a touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter? Oregon won the game 21-7, but the Badgers went, I think it was 11 quarters without scoring a point, 14 quarters without scoring a touchdown, and they were outscored at one point 116-3 over 4 games. This is Wisconsin now. And what else did I write down about that? Just an amazing thing. They did not score in 38 possessions. They did not score a touchdown. So they've got problems over there in Madison. But a lot of it is circumstances. They had a couple of quarterbacks get injured, and I think one left for an NIL deal, and that left them with a fourth-string quarterback, which is a problem. So anyhow, let's get into the slides here a little bit. This is Apgar Mountain. This is a picture taken Thursday. This is in Glacier National Park, and you can see all the snow on the mountains there. There's also snow on the mountains in Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, the Cascade Mountains, highest mountains there, picking up some snow. So there's certainly signs of winter on the weather map, though we won't see any snow here for a while yet. All right, let's take a look at some low temperatures here from Saturday morning, and we're going to be about this cold again here early this Sunday morning. Note how it was warmer at the lake. 38 was the low temperature on the Muskegon Beach, 37 at the South Haven Beach, and at the Holland Beach. But 29 in Grand Rapids. By the way, the computer models, I did not see one that got 29 or colder. I think most of the models had temperatures holding up in the mid-30s. So they kind of missed that one a little bit on the high side. 28 Kalamazoo, Ionia, Sparta. Down on the bottom, Atlanta, up in northern lower Michigan, and Roscommon at 23. And that's a very interesting picture. Take a look at the picture. That's a picture taken from the lighthouse at Muskegon. And what you're looking at is, first of all, the shadow of the lighthouse. The sun is coming up in the east. And what you're looking at is something that we call Arctic sea smoke. When you get really cold air coming across relatively warmer water, you can get steam coming off the water. And it's really interesting. The wind was light, but there was at least a little bit of a wind, and it was blowing out toward the water. You notice that there isn't any Arctic sea smoke once you get beyond the breakwater. It was all on this side of the breakwater, but interesting picture there. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Show you the sunrise and sunset times. This coming week, watch out for the kids at the bus stop because it will be pretty dark in the morning. We've got 1 week until the time change, and so that the sunrise there at 8:09 will zip down to about 8:15 by the time we hit the weekend here. Sunset time, 6:42. We have 10 hours and 33 minutes of daylight today. The high temperature dips another one. Our average high temperature here for October 26th is 56 degrees. Record high temperature 79, set in 1939, and the record low 24, set twice in 62 and in 1990. And that is a beautiful picture from Windmill Island. Look at the beautiful color that they have there. And in fact, there were a lot of people there walking around and enjoying the day. So many people got out, and today's going to be a great day. So if you got a chance to get out somewhere, one of the orchards that has lots of activities going on, robinettes. There's so many of them up and down Fruit Ridge Road and up Alpine around 10 Mile to get out. I was at the zoo. I should have shown you a picture or two of that. So many people at the zoo. It was Zoo Goes Boo, and so many kids in costumes and everything. And it really, I congratulate all the parents that the kids were well behaved there, and it was just a great day to be at the zoo. All right, let's go on, talk about something else. The lakeshore forecast. Winds will be very light during the day today, generally 6 inches to a foot on the waves. because we have winds that are kind of offshore. Those are the water temperatures, both inland lakes and Lake Michigan down in the 50s now. And that was a picture of a boat going down the channel here Saturday afternoon. And you can see, I believe that's a fishing boat. Hopefully they picked up a fish. All right, let's take a look at what's ahead here for us. Dry Sunday coming up with mostly sunny skies. A cool pattern this week. We may not get warmer than about 56 or 57 this entire week. Mid-50s is about the best we'll be able to do, but which is average for this time of year. No big storms, but there is a huge storm coming for Jamaica. We'll tell you more about that after this message from Complete Care Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
Well, thank you, Michelle. This is a look at the severe weather reports that we had on Saturday, and boy, not many of them. Just a handful. 1 severe hail report, 4 severe wind reports. 61-mile-an-hour gust at Gatesville in central Texas. And they had some power outages there, and that was about it. I didn't see any significant damage from any of the storms that were there. Here's the way it looks for the next couple of days. For today, our severe threat is mainly down to the south, New Orleans, Mobile, Pensacola, Gulfport, Gulf Shores. That's the area where there could be a heavy thunderstorm with some heavy rainfall and the possibility for an isolated strong gust of wind. Not severe, but there could be a thunder shower across parts of the Rockies and also the Pacific Northwest. And we move ahead to Monday, and Monday's map shows you that we'll continue to see just an isolated thunder shower for Nebraska and maybe for Georgia and Florida, southern Georgia and Florida. But any severe weather is not expected, and that's a good thing. We've had below average severe weather here since about the end of July, and so we've been enjoying that. Okay, let's go on now and talk rainfall. Some heavy rain falling in the southern United States. No severe weather, but look at all that rain that's going to be along the lower Mississippi Valley. From Arkansas on down to the Gulf, some places over the next 3 days picking up 2 to 3 inches of rain. And you can see the same story out in the Pacific Northwest with heavy rainfalls expected from Northern California up through coastal Oregon and Washington State. Nothing for Michigan. We stay dry here over the next 3 days. Well, let's head to the tropics and see what's going on here. This is the storm that we're all watching. This is named Melissa. We're down to the M in the alphabet. The storm was moving at 2 miles an hour yesterday, and today it's moving at just 3 miles an hour to the west. The great danger there is if a storm stays in the same spot, that means the heavy rain continues to fall over the same areas. The storm's path looks like this. It's going to be going west and then taking a sharp turn to the north and heading up into the Jamaica area. Now, if we zoom in on the next map here, I'll be able to show you the track of the storm. By the way, that red covering Jamaica are hurricane warnings. There's the M there indicating major hurricane, and that's what it's going to be, as winds could increase as high as, with gusts anyway, as high as 120 to 150 miles an hour, plus incredibly strong rainfall is expected from this storm. Again, it looks like it's going to make a quick turn and head over Jamaica. The circulation is counterclockwise, and so that means a strong south wind will push a massive storm surge into the south shore of the island, especially in the Kingston area. The storm will then weaken just a bit as it exits and runs over Cuba, and then through the Bahamas, some of the lesser inhabited islands there, It may come close to Bermuda before moving toward the North Atlantic. Now, the next slide will show you how much rain is expected, and that is really incredible. Some places there could see 40 inches of rain. Now, can you imagine what a snowstorm would be like with 40 inches of snow, and then rain is a whole lot worse. But you can see that heavy rain confined there to Jamaica and to a lesser extent over southwest Haiti and also parts of eastern Cuba. So we'll have updates on Melissa again tomorrow, but you certainly want to keep up with that storm if you have any interest in Jamaica especially. Well, we've been waiting for Sonia to form, and it finally has. It's just a tropical storm, not a hurricane, well away from Mexico and Central America. It will continue to drift toward the west, and it will, for the most part, dissipate before it gets near the Hawaiian Islands, so not a problem there. And then we go to the western Pacific Ocean real briefly. There are 3 disturbances in the Indian Ocean and none in the western Pacific, which is kind of odd. Those 2 depressions, 92A and 94B, should continue to kind of drift along and really not pose much of a problem. Chenji has peaked as it's passed north of Madagascar, and it will fade away to nothing as it approaches the African coast around Dar es Salaam. All right, back to our weather here. This is the forecast for today. I'm going for a high of 55. I'm a couple degrees warmer than everybody else, or most everybody else. Mostly sunny skies expected here. Some frost in the morning, just like we had early this morning. I think many temperatures will be down a little bit below the freezing mark once again. Humidity down to 60% in the afternoon. Winds will be out of the east and southeast here much of the day, so an offshore breeze. And taking a look at low temperatures early this Sunday morning, you can see we've got 30s, even some upper 20s as you go off to the north. Some 27s there at Mount Pleasant, Gaylord, Grayling, that area. A little bit warmer out in the lake there, as you can see. Low temperatures right over the middle of the lake, only in the low 50s. And you can see the at South Haven there, the pier temperature at 42. So if you're right by the water, you don't have to worry about any frost. And of course, it's pretty chilly in the UP too. Here's a look at the forecast high temperatures here for this Sunday. I think we'll be up into the mid 50s. 55 Kalamazoo, 60 for Gary, Indiana, 59 Chicago. We got 58 up at Traverse City. When the winds southeast or south, they get a little bit of downslope in Traverse City, and that usually gives them about an extra degree or 2 in terms of temperature. And we go ahead to Monday. Monday could be a couple degrees cooler than Sunday, but it will still be mostly sunny and fairly pleasant with temperatures here in the low to mid 50s in most areas. So a couple nice days coming up here in West Michigan. 5-day forecast looks like this. We'll be seeing temperatures here holding steady in the mid 50s right on through the period. It's really not going to change much. Low temperatures, low 30s the next couple of nights, and then after that mid 30s. But even on those mid 30s night, there could be some scattered frost. Winds not terribly strong. They'll pick up a little bit here, but really not bad. And the 8 to 14 day outlook, more of the same here. Warmer than average in the western U.S. and cooler than average in the eastern U.S. And that's for the period November 2 through the 8th. And again, we are 1 week away from the time change that's coming up. All right, let's see what special slides we have coming up here. That's the rainfall outlook, near to slightly below average over the next couple of weeks or so, and that's probably right. I would go probably slightly slightly below average on rainfall here. All right, let's see what extra slides we have today. Melissa sounds like it's just winding up. We found a tropical storm in Puerto Rico years ago. We were on top of Mount El Yunque when the lightning and rain hit. The rain was incredible. Even with ponchos, everything was drenched. The flights home were all moved back 36 to 48 hours. Prayers for the folks in the path of that much water and wind. Yeah, I hope they have plans to get people at least away from the coast. And with that much wind coming, if people can, the storm surge is going to be on the area around Kingston and to the right. So if they can move people inland and to the left or off the island, if you can make it, somewhere where it's not going to be as intense, that would certainly be a good thing. But this system will cause an incredible amount of rain and flooding, and they're going to have to make sure that people get away. And I don't know if you know much about Jamaica, but Jamaica has mountains. There are a number of mountains that are over 5,000 feet above sea level. And I think the highest point in Jamaica is about 7,000 feet above sea level. So that those mountains, that cause the air to lift and really produce some incredible rainfalls. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But thank you, Barbara, for that comment. This television presenter was born October 26, 1946. If you're interested in wheels, I know who it is. And I got a story to tell you about him. You may be able to solve this puzzle with ease. Daughter number 3, Michelle, did her undergraduate at Hillsdale College in Hillsdale County. Pat Sajak was on the board of Hillsdale College. Pat Sajak had met the president of Hillsdale when he was out in California, and they became good friends. And Pat came to Hillsdale a number of times, and he really liked Hillsdale. He kind of blended in, and a lot of people didn't notice him and make a big fuss over him. He's a Polish kid from Chicago, as he calls himself. Anyhow, I was there visiting Michelle, my daughter, and she was a cheerleader, so we used to go to the games, and we would often, if there was a Saturday night basketball game or something like that, we would stay overnight in one of the hotels and then get up in the morning and go to Sunday brunch, and Michelle would play piano at the Sunday brunch. And it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. So anyhow, I'm coming out of Sunday brunch one day, and there's Pat Sajak standing there all by himself. I'm kind of like, hello, can I help you? And I talked to him. Turns out he actually did the weather on TV for a while. But he said, you know what you're talking about. I didn't. That was one of the lines he gave me. But I talked with him for about 5 minutes. Very personable, friendly guy. And why he gave me the time of day, I don't know. But he told me he was just a Polish kid from Chicago that happened to make good. And boy, isn't that a young picture? That's Vanna White, who looks about the same today as she did in that picture. And Pat Sajak, 79. Can you believe he's 79? Isn't that amazing? Okay, let's go on to the next slide here and see what we got. Daughter number 3 is in this country. It is the home of toy company Lego. Okay, I know. Pianist and comedian Victor Borge. Victor Borge had this interesting game he used to play. Every time you said a word, which was also a number, you had to add 1 to it if you were carrying on a conversation. And so instead of to the store, he would say 3 the store. Instead of fortune, he would say 5 tune. Okay. And he was so smart. Some of these people would just carry on this conversation back and forth like this, where they would be adding a number if they were saying it. And if you caught, you had to pay a penny into the jar or something like that if you missed. But very interesting. He's a funny guy. He would play the piano backwards and upside down, and he was really a funny guy. And I'm sure I haven't looked, but I'm sure you can find his videos on YouTube. And Hans Christian Andersen, a famous landmark in the capital, is the Little Mermaid, which is out in the harbor there. So daughter number 3, I didn't know that until just a little while ago. Somebody told me, hey, your kid's in Denmark. Now her trip so far has gone London, and then they've gone to Rhodes, Greece. They've gone across to Turkey, then up to Helsinki, Finland, and now to Denmark. Where are they going to go next? I don't know. They have 2 weeks, I think, that they have off, that they have planned this trip. And again, she works for American Airlines, so she can get the free travel perk if there's an empty seat on the plane. So they need empty seats on the planes. And sometimes they don't know where they're going because they don't know where the empty seats are going to be. So it's really an adventure. I told her she really ought to write some of this down because it's really interesting to read. All right, let's go on and see some pictures from Denmark. Northern Europe, the change of color is similar to what it is here. Look at that brilliant color. That's about what it is like in Michigan right now. The fall colors change at about the same time. Beautiful little river there. They get we can get colder days than the most extreme cold in Michigan can be more extreme than the most extreme cold in Denmark, because there's enough water around that northern part of Europe to modify the air a little bit. So yeah, they don't get 20 below zero very often in Europe. But what a beautiful scene. You have your green grass over there on the side, the pretty trees. Wouldn't it be fun to kind of kayak down that? Very nice. I think we have a couple more. Michelle loves taking pictures of churches with the spires and whatnot, and learning more about the history of countries. But that could be the same river as it goes by, and one of the beautiful churches there of Eastern Europe. Let's go on to the next picture here. And that could be another church or another building there of note in Denmark. I believe the capital is Copenhagen, and very interesting country. All right, let's see what else we got here. Up next from John Kimball. That's a pretty picture. Look at the beautiful color there in the foreground. The water. Let's find out if we can find out where this is. Looking south from. Let's go back to the last one here. Looking south from the bluff over Harbor Springs, lake effect rain squalls drifting in from northwest. Yeah, you can see in the distance there, just a little bit right of center. There's a shower right there with rain coming down. Nothing real heavy out of that, but just some lighter showers and whatnot. So you're looking south back across the bay. That would be Little Traverse Bay, I think. Pretty place to be. Yeah, I've been up there before. We spent a day on the beach there, and it was at the state. There's a state park that's right there at the east end of the bay, which is really neat. Walked up and down there, had a great time. All right, thanks, John, for that picture. We have some happy gulls here from John Scully. This is a nice time of year for them. There's food for them to eat, and it's not too terribly cold yet, so they can lie in the sun, have a good time during the day, and go catch something to eat, and go back and take care of the family. But that would be. This looks like it would be in the Muskegon Grand Haven area. And do we have another picture? Yes, from John Doherty. This appears to be either rain or dew, melted frost, perhaps, on the branches there, and the sun coming on out and sparkling off the drops of dew or frost, melting frost that you can see right there. Pretty picture. John, of course, is up in Benzie County. Well, I think we've reached the end of our journey for today. Again, 2 beautiful days coming up this Sunday and Monday. Fall colors are nearing their peak, so get out and enjoy. Once again, have a great day, and thanks for watching till the end.